There's a moment in life when you finally see the truth. The world doesn't try to break you with big tragedies. It breaks you with small tests. Tests designed to expose the parts of you that still depend on things outside your control. A message left unanswered. A tone that cuts deeper than it should. A promise broken. A silence that feels like a blade. A moment where life shifts by 1 inch, and suddenly your entire emotional world shakes. That's the real battlefield. Not the loud crises, the quiet ones. That's where people fall apart. Not because they're weak, but because their identity is built on unstable ground. They rely on attention to feel confident, control to feel safe, validation to feel worthy, comfort to feel strong. And when any of those things move, even slightly, the whole structure collapses. The stoic knight is forged in the opposite direction. Strength isn't found in the absence of emotion. It's found in the refusal to hand your emotions to anything or anyone outside yourself. It's the ability to stand firm in the middle of uncertainty and say, my center is mine, my peace is mine, my mind is mine. Being unshakable is not about being hard. It's about being anchored. It's about building a core so stable that nothing external can pull you out of yourself. The world will test that core. People will test it. Life will test it. Your own fears will test it. And every test asks the same question. Are you ruled by the world, or are you ruled by yourself? The unshakable mindset begins the moment you choose to make your inner world stronger than anything happening outside it. This is where that transformation starts. This is where the weak identity dies. This is where the stoic knight emerges. Inner control is where the unshakable mindset begins. When pressure hits, a sudden silence, a shift in someone's tone, a plan falling apart, most people hand their emotions to the moment. They react without thinking, giving away their power in a split second. And once the world learns it can pull your emotions, it keeps pulling. The stoic knight does the opposite. When the reaction rises, they pause. When the mind wants to spiral, they breathe. When ego screams for attention or control, they stay still. They choose their response instead of surrendering to impulse. This is the moment you stop being moved by the world and start moving from your center. Inner control is not suppression. It's sovereignty. It's the ability to feel deeply without being ruled by what you feel. Detachment forms the next layer of strength, not detachment from people, detachment from outcomes, expectations, and external stability. You can care without clinging. You can love without losing yourself. You can invest without abandoning your identity. When outcomes no longer dictate your peace, the world loses its leverage over you. Detachment isn't coldness. It's freedom, the freedom to stay grounded regardless of how things unfold. Stillness is where that freedom becomes power. Stillness makes people reveal themselves. Your silence removes the distraction of your reactions. Suddenly they can't read you, steer you, or provoke you. They show their intentions without realizing it. Stillness pressures others while protecting you. It is the quiet force that flips any dynamic, because the one who reacts least sees the most. If you're learning to stay calm in the storms that used to break you, remember to download the audiobook of Surviving the Toxic Bond. It breaks down the mechanics of emotional detachment and internal stability with surgical clarity. And if you like reading while you listen, the ebook lines up perfectly. Pressure itself becomes your forge. Every disappointment, every shift in someone's behavior, every silent withdrawal, every moment you felt powerless or confused, those weren't losses. They were heat. They were strikes of the hammer shaping you. A blade becomes unbreakable because it survived the fire. A mind becomes unshakable because it survived pressure without folding. You weren't being punished, you were being formed. The version of you that cracked wasn't the real you. It was the version that needed to die. The forge strips the weak identity so the strong one can take its place. Discipline strengthens that identity. Discipline is where stability becomes real. Every time you follow through when you don't feel like it, You reinforce who you are. Every time you keep your word to yourself, you build internal trust. And internal trust is the foundation of emotional stability. If you cannot rely on yourself, life will break you. If you can, nothing will. Discipline isn't about effort. It's about identity. A disciplined person knows where they stand even when the world shifts. Boundaries protect that identity. A stoic knight doesn't enforce their standards with anger. They enforce them by refusal, by walking away, by silence, by consistency. Your boundaries are not about controlling others. They're about protecting the version of you the world tried to break. When you refuse to betray your values for connection, you become someone pressure cannot manipulate. Your code becomes your armor. Your dignity becomes your shield. Your peace becomes non-negotiable. This is where unshakability becomes permanent. Not because life gets easier, but because your center no longer bends. You feel everything, but you are ruled by nothing external. People can leave, stay, return, or vanish. Your identity remains yours. Uncertainty can rise. Your peace does not move. Pressure can hit. Your presence holds steady. Storms can surround you, but you are the mountain they break against. You become the blade that survived the forge. You become the presence that doesn't flinch. This is the mindset the world cannot shake. This is the identity pressure cannot break. This is the path of the stoic knight. If this message hit you with clarity, remember to download the audiobook first and the ebook if you want to read while you listen. And make sure you like, comment, subscribe and share. It pushes this philosophy to the people who actually need it. Stand firm, stay grounded, protect your peace.